Hey everybody, Phil here, coming to you from Japan again. And today I want to talk about whether you are the real deal, whether you really are an entrepreneur, and if you are using the entrepreneur pyramid mindset to get better. Let's get into it. So let's talk about the phases an entrepreneur goes through. And I'm not talking about, the ups and downs of whether the current thing you're working on is successful or not successful. I'm talking about you, the entrepreneur behind the idea. And I like to think of it, like there's a pyramid. And if we're lucky, we're going to have a graphic, but I'm pretty sure you know what a pyramid looks like. And at the bottom, you have a lot of people, and at the top, you have few people, because each level takes more and more effort and more ability. So let's take a look at those 5 levels quickly, and then we're going to talk about how we progress through those 5 levels. I think at the bottom, you have this idea of somebody who's just a thinker. They're just in their own mind. Some might say cruelly that they are a fantasist. They're not really doing anything. They're thinking about doing it. They're saying, oh, you know what? I think it'd be cool to have my own company. I think it'd be cool to, go with this idea or whatever. And maybe they have ideas and everything like that, but everything is in their head. They are just thinkers. And man, there's a lot of those people out there. I meet them almost every day, certainly chat to them on the internet every day. People who have an idea for something. Fine. Next up, you have a little bit fewer people, and this is kind of what I call the dabbler. And that's somebody who's, they had their idea, and maybe I'm going to spend like a couple hours and see if I can come up with it. And quite often after those couple hours, those people stop. But those are the dabblers. They do a little bit. And then we kind of move up to the next one. And these are people who've said, okay, I've got my idea, tried it out. I'm going to actually put a little bit of effort into this and keep on going. And those are kind of the amateurs. They're pretty good. They can be pretty good. But they don't do it all the time. And if something else comes up, they won't do it. They're amateurs. Next is the pro. And there's not a lot of people up here, but these are people who do it full time, make their money from it full time, make a pretty good income out of it. This is kind of, if you hit the pro level, in my opinion, you're doing pretty good. And then of course we have the very tippy top of the pyramid, which are these masters. The people we hear about, the Richard Bransons, the Bill Gates, the Steve Jobs, these people who are masters at what they're doing. And, these people just have a limitless source of wealth seemingly coming in because they've really mastered what they're doing. You can go through all of these levels yourself. Master, pretty tough to get. I'm certainly not master. If I was on master, I probably wouldn't be doing a YouTube channel. But I'm a pro, I've had quite a few companies. I've made quite a bit of money. I do this all the time, and I've been doing it like this for many years now. So I would like to, conceitedly put myself in the pro category. So how do we go through these phases? This is the challenge, As an entrepreneur, if you're down here at thinker and dabbler and you don't want to be just a statistic that drops off, how do I go through? Well, the first thing you can do is constantly measure your success. How do you know you're being successful if you don't measure it? And there's so many tools out there for measuring now. You have for online businesses, you have things like Google Analytics and so many statistics and metrics that you can see if you're, building, how are you building? And this is the important thing, looking at reports, knowing why people are coming to your business, why people aren't coming to your business, how they are getting there, what's the flow they're using to get there, and why your business. Why is it that they come to you after all of that, after all their choices out there? Why are they at your business? You have to be able to measure that. That's the number one important thing. If you can't measure why people are using you, maybe because you're cheaper, maybe because you offer better services, maybe because you have a unique product, I don't know, whatever it is, you have to know. And you have to be able to measure it, and you have to be able to see, more and more people are coming because of that. And you're hitting the marketing for that and all the rest of it. That's the most vital thing. The next thing that's really important is you have to get better. You have to get better at what you're doing. And you get better by studying, by practicing. You have this set of skills. And skills, I've always kind of poo-pooed skills because I think skills can be learned. Everybody can learn a skill, It's the application of that skill that really sets you apart in a business, but you have to have the skill in the first place. And if you're a technical person, that means, how do I write software? If you're a marketing person, do I understand the concepts behind driving people through marketing? If you're a interface person, do I understand user experience? We all have skills in the areas that we work in. If you're a filmmaker, you understand how the camera works, and if you're a musician, do you know how to play? Right? You all have skills. But that's your kind of internal skill. You also have this outside skill, this external thing, which is your business offering. How do you improve that? How do you get better? How do you study? How do you practice to improve your business offering? That's really, really vital. In my business that I'm in right now, I always look at what the competition does, and I don't follow what the competition does. I say, why do they have this feature? How many people do I think are going to be using it? I maybe ask my users, or I certainly ask my users, for their input, and if they give me input, that's the kind of thing I'm looking at. Always kind of improving and saying, what's the area I want to be in, and how can I be the best in that area? The next one, it's kind of a bit weird, is that you have to be patient. You have to wait for your success. Now, patience is not laziness. Some people think, oh yeah, I'm being patient. I'm sitting on the couch waiting for my YouTube channel to get 1 million followers, or I'm waiting for my business to hit $1 million a year, or $1 million a month, or, ever. And, there's a difference between patience and laziness. Patience is you keep on going. You keep doing, you keep doing, you keep doing, but you wait for the success. Keep working for it, but wait for it. The next thing, number 4, if you're keeping track, you don't have to. In my opinion, it makes life easier if you follow a model. And I don't mean, like Claudia Schiffer or something like that. I mean, you follow a pattern, someone else who has done what you want to do. And now, this is an important thing I think some people get wrapped up in. I don't mean they've done the same thing that you want to do. I don't mean that they've started a business that does what your business wants to do. I mean they've gone from 0 to nothing. No, 0 to 1. They've, built a business. Perhaps in your area you get some more specific instructions, but you want to follow that mindset. You want to copy kind of like an approach or an attitude, a style, a business style that you think is right for you. Now, I can't copy, like somebody who's totally not my personality type, like, trying to think of a good example. But, like I can't copy, let's say, Bill Gates or whatever. There's 2 things about that. One, I'm not a Bill Gates type person. And the other thing is, Bill Gates existed at a different time, Well, I mean, he's still existing today, but, he built himself up at a different time. So, I can't always take those lessons. See? I can't always take those lessons, but I can take his attitude and maybe some of his approach. That's really important. So always follow a model. I guess the last one is difficult for me to talk about, not only because my microphone is slipping, but because I haven't really sorted this out for myself yet. And that is, you have to be hungry. If you want great success, you really you need to have great success. You can't just want it. You have to need it. And, for me, I have a lifestyle. I'm going after a lifestyle, not going after a set of figures in the bank or, a fancy car or whatever. I'm going after the kind of lifestyle that I want. And that's how I've always approached my business. And that's why some people say, well, you're an underperformer, because they're looking at the numbers in the bank. Though the numbers in the bank are pretty good, to be honest. They're looking at the stratospheric thing, but they're not looking at the whole picture. So you have to be hungry for what it is you're going after. And that's maybe one thing on this channel that sets me apart. I don't know. Probably means that fewer people will follow me. Is that I don't think you have to go for $10 million a year. You're not defined by money. You're defined by this whole circle that is your life. And focus on the circle. Focus on what your overall life wants to be. And we're going to talk about that in another video as well. So those are my kind of 5 points about working your way up the pyramid, So constantly measure your success. Get better by studying and by practicing, by analyzing. Be patient, but don't be lazy. Follow a model, and be hungry. And be hungry also is choose the right goal. You won't be hungry for a goal that's not right for you. The other thing that will make my channel not so successful, he says, setting himself up to fail, is that, I kind of refuse to focus just on one aspect. I'm a business person, I'm also a musician. Music is a big part of my life. I play a lot. So let's talk about these 5 rules as I apply to, let's say, music or my guitar playing or whatever. So rule number 1 was constantly measure your success. I have some set pieces that I work on and exercises that I work on. And those exercises are not only good for step 2, the practice, but they're also good for measuring my success. How far can I go? How well can I play it? This kind of thing. Number 2, of course, practice. I still practice guitar every day, and I don't mean I noodle around. I literally have a set of exercises that I go through, and I'm constantly looking for new guitar study books and things like this that are going to give me some different skills and make me improve, I hope. And so that's an interesting point. You have to know what and how to practice, So think about that. And be patient, don't be lazy. Well, I've been playing guitar for 39 years, and arguably I'm pretty good, but, I've been patient, though I'm not looking for success, but I've been patient. I didn't get frustrated right at the beginning. I just worked hard, so don't be lazy. Follow a model. I have my way of playing, but there are a lot of guitar players that I really love and really respect, even though I know I'm not in their genre or whatever, but I want to look at how did they get themselves there. So that's one of the reasons in business we read these business books, is not to follow somebody's exact pattern, it's to say, okay, what was their attitude to get them there? So I look at other guitar players that I love and see how do they do it. And, of course, number 5 is be hungry, and I always wanted to be good at playing, and I'm good at the style that I wanted to be good in, and I'm still improving, I hope. Anyway, that's my little chat for today about this pyramid for entrepreneurs and moving up the pyramid. And as always, if you find these videos interesting or thought-provoking, or you just like the sound of my voice, or you want to see how I will fail, whatever it is, maybe click the subscribe button and click the notifications if you're really crazy about it. Do whatever. I'll be here. Come back. See you soon.